Welcome back, 5-Hour Show. Raymond here. Let's get started. So what do we have here? So today we're taking a look at the very awesome, the very cool, I would say Cheetor's older brother, Tigatron. Now this toy is really cool. The first time, I think I've mentioned the story before, but the first time I saw this mold, which was in the Cheetor version, I went to a Walmart on a Saturday and it was raining cats and dogs. I go into the store, I find a Cheetor and I buy it. I run to the car after I paid for it. I crack it open and I transform this toy. And to my surprise, I was just enchanted with the toy because it was the first time I'd seen a Transformer that had all this G.I. Joe posability, the fact that the legs bent and it was, extremely posable for a Transformer toy. Long gone were the days of, standing bricks that are known as G1 toys today. Now, of course, yes, some of the joints will be loose over time. But another thing that really caught my attention was the detail to the weapons, how they were, especially with Beast Wars, the weapons were integrated into the transformation of the Beast Wars toys. So, for instance, this is what they call the stomach gun or the cat gut gun for the Cheetor, or in this case, the Tigatron. Another thing is the battle mask. Here's the robot face, and then the battle mask was some kind of like an alien creature. And I thought that was cool. That was just a cool gimmick. And they removed it later on. They knew they didn't need it anymore because Beast Wars was just such a hit. But as I mentioned before, with the integration of certain weapons came a certain problem. And that leads me to today's video. Another unboxing, of course, but it's a very quick one. And today we finally get to complete this toy. I had picked up this toy for 700 yen, and then online the other day, miraculously, we got another part of this toy that I get to complete. But here's the thing, this part is sun yellowed, and that ain't not a good thing. So today what we're gonna do is what we did with the process, and hopefully you can see that the process of whitening these toys is a really good one. So let's start the process. And to do that, my guess is, yep, and I better be careful with this piece. I really don't want to lose this piece, but oh my goodness, it's so hard to get out. And there it is. So that is a very, very dangerous piece to have out and about. But as I mentioned before, today we're going to go ahead and put these in, you guessed it, Oxidol. And we're going to leave it out for as long as it takes. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as, the air raids did. And hopefully it's as quick as the Ken was from the Gotchaman series. So without further ado, let's put them in to our jar of Oxidol. Now I was contemplating doing this one, but I guess it wouldn't hurt. But I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I really don't know. So we'll be back in a few days and see how these parts are faring. Okay? See you in a few days. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I've left this out for 2 days. And my, oh my, look at that. It whitened it up so nice. That is just, I love this process. The air raids look good. The Tigatron, so I'm guessing with Beast Wars, the oxygen peroxide does a good job. I mean, look at that. It was very yellow. It's like so nasty yellow. There we go. Yeah. We just got to put that little clip in. Look at that cattail. Look at that. It was like warm yellowish, kind of again like pea yellow, but I even put the cat gut in there just to, you know, and it looks shinier, brighter. But the biggest transformation was the tail. Look at that. That is beautiful. All right, so let me dry this up and we'll put this back together and we'll put it on our Tigatron. All right, I dried it up. So once again, our cat gut gun is okay. The tail is just amazing. Look at that. And all we gotta do is clip that in. Is there a up or down? I think it's the same either way. We do have to snap it in there though. And there we go. There is our cattail, bright and shiny, as you can see. And of course it transforms into wow, it's really stiff, and I'm guessing the warm sun kind of did that. But here, let me get rid of this so you can see how white they are. I mean, this one was white already, but for some reason it seems even nicer. And of course the biggest difference was here. I left it out for 2 days and it is so nice. And that's the thing, is that now it seems like it's whiter than the Tigatron itself. Had to adjust the camera. So once again, I think the white is now whiter than the actual Tigatron. That is amazing. We might have to whiten this guy. I mean, I'm glad that this one came out so nice and white. So we're gonna, this is a Japanese version, of course, so it is white. It's not yellow, it's white. So we're gonna have to probably do the process for the Tigatron as well. So we might have to disassemble him and whiten up those parts. But look, you can tell, I mean, the weapons are now whiter than the actual Tigatron, and that is incredible. For those of you who may not know, the Tigatron in Japan was released in white. This is a Japanese Tigatron released in white plastic with the turquoise color. However, over in the United States, the Tigatron was actually a very light yellowish, very, very light yellow. And so, you know, my friend would say, oh yeah, that's the pea color Tigatron. And so, yeah, the weapons look too nice. That is now the problem. So the Tigatron does look good, but the weapons outshine the Tigatron. And then there was one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and that was concerning the BPS, the brittle plastic syndrome, that had to do with the Scorponok. I made a video about it. Behind the scenes, I was opening up the Scorponok, and I don't know what to tell you guys, but man, it is a serious problem. I opened up the tail to see if I can rig something so that I can, you know, attach the tail back onto the Scorponok body. And more of the parts inside the tail literally just disintegrated. And I said, oh my goodness, this is a much more serious problem than I thought. I look on Japanese Mercari, and yes, there are many Scorponok's now with many broken tails. As a matter of fact, I passed up on a Scorponok body with the tail still attached for 2,000 yen. It was part of a little lot, and I said, I just don't really want to mess with them right now. But I kind of want to get my Scorponok looking good. And that one sold, and I said, oh man, maybe I should have bought it. But here's the thing. Now there are 2 Scorponoks, just the Scorponok, no parts, no nothing, for about $100. And that is going to be a future problem. Japanese Scorponoks are so brittle that the prices for those are going to shoot up. That is what I dealt with. And so I kind of just put Scorponok off to the side because it's, to be honest, it's too much drama. At least here with the Tigatron, we can disassemble him carefully, gently, and we know that the process works. Look at that. And I think you guys can tell, you know. But anyway, that does it for today's Tigatron whitening process for his weapons. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'd like to ask you to please consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't yet, please do so. Share, like, comment. Let us know what you think. And with that, I say God bless you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will gladly see you guys on the next episode of the 5 Hour Show. Take care, guys. See you next time.